It was a chilly Tuesday morning, the kind where the wind bites just enough to make you pull your coat tighter. I was stationed at the front desk of the building, my usual post. As a security guard, my job was straightforward: monitor who came in, keep things orderly, and ensure everyone followed the rules. Around 9 a.m., a woman approached the main doors. She was striking, tall, confident, dressed in a crisp navy suit. Her curls framed her face, and her dark skin seemed to glow against the morning light. But something about her demeanor made me pause. She wasn't familiar, and I prided myself on knowing most of the regulars. "Excuse me, ma'am," I called out as she stepped into the lobby. "Can I help you?" She smiled politely. "I'm here for a meeting on the 10th floor." That was strange. The 10th floor was reserved for high-level executives, the kind of people who wore expensive watches and drove luxury cars. This woman didn't look like them. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something didn't sit right with me. "Do you have an appointment?" I asked, trying to keep my tone neutral. She blinked, clearly surprised by the question. "I don't need one." That response didn't help my doubts. Rules were rules. No one walked into this building, let alone the 10th floor, without clearance. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't let you go up without proper authorization," I said firmly, stepping in front of the elevator. Her smile faltered. "Authorization? Do you know who I am?" I hated this part of the job, the entitlement, the people who thought they were above the rules. I'd dealt with it 100 times before. "I don't," I replied, folding my arms. "And that's the problem. If you can't provide ID or proof of an appointment, I'll have to ask you to leave." For a moment, she just looked at me, her expression a mix of disbelief and sadness. Then she reached into her purse, pulled out her phone, and made a call. I stood there, watching her, still convinced I was doing my job right. Not 2 minutes later, the building manager, a man I rarely saw except for emergencies, came rushing down the hallway. His face was pale, and he was sweating despite the cold. "Mr. Hayes," he barked at me, his voice sharp and urgent. "What do you think you're doing?" I glanced at the woman, who was now watching me with an unsettling calmness. "Just following protocol, sir," I said, trying to defend myself. She doesn't need protocol. Do you have any idea who this is?" He gestured toward her, his hands trembling slightly. I shook my head, suddenly feeling like I'd missed something very important. "This," he said, turning to her with an apologetic bow, "is Miss Amara Daniels. She owns this building." I froze. My mind raced, trying to process his words. Owned? The whole building? I glanced at her again, really looked this time. The confidence in her stance, the patience in her eyes, it all made sense now. "I'm so sorry," I stammered, my throat dry. "I didn't know." "You didn't bother to ask," she interrupted, her voice calm but firm. "You assumed. Why?" Her question hit me harder than I expected. Why had I assumed? Was it her skin color? Her gender? The way she didn't fit my preconceived idea of what a building owner should look like? I didn't mean to. I started, but she held up a hand. "Intentions matter less than actions," she said softly. "You judged me without knowing anything about me. That's the problem." Her words stayed with me long after she stepped into the elevator and disappeared from sight. That moment forced me to confront myself, to question my biases and the way I saw people. I realized that sometimes we don't even notice the small prejudices we carry until they're laid bare. From that day on, I made a promise to myself to do better, to see people as they are, not as I assume them to be. Because you never know who someone really is, or what they're capable of, until you give them a chance to show you. Hey everyone. Thank you so much for watching this emotional and inspiring story. If it touched your heart or made you reflect on the importance of standing up for what's right, we'd really appreciate your support. Give this video a thumbs up if you believe in justice and fairness for everyone. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something similar? What would you have done in Marie's situation? Your stories and opinions inspire us and this amazing community. And if you enjoy stories like this, filled with unexpected twists, heartfelt moments, and valuable life lessons, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss another story. By liking, commenting, and subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, you're helping us share stories that matter with people all over the world. Together, we can make a difference. one story at a time. Thank you for being here, for watching, and for being part of this incredible community. We'll see you in the next video.